I never believed in anything supernatural. Not ghosts, not demons, not things that go bump in the night. I was the kind of person who needed proof, solid, undeniable, logical proof. That changed the night I heard the voice. It started 3 weeks after I moved into the house. The place was old, built sometime in the 1940s according to the paperwork. It sat at the end of a quiet street, surrounded by tall trees that blocked out most of the sunlight. The previous owner had passed away, and the house had been on the market for months. I got it cheap, suspiciously cheap, but I didn't care. It was quiet, private, exactly what I needed after my divorce. The first few nights were peaceful, almost too peaceful. No creaking pipes, no drafts, no strange noises, just silence. Until the basement. I hadn't gone down there at first. The door was in the kitchen, a heavy wooden thing with chipped paint and a rusted handle. The realtor had mentioned it briefly. Just an unfinished basement, she said. Storage mostly. I didn't think much of it, but on the 7th night I heard something. A faint sound, almost like whispering. At first I thought it was the TV. I'd fallen asleep on the couch, and sometimes late-night programs would bleed into my dreams. But when I woke up, the TV was off. The whispering wasn't. It was coming from the kitchen. More specifically, from the basement door. I sat up slowly, my heart thudding harder than it should have. The house was dark, the only light coming from the street lamp outside, casting long shadows through the windows. The whispering stopped. Just like that. I waited. Listen. Nothing. I told myself it was nothing. Old houses make noise. Pipes, wood, wind, there's always an explanation. I went back to sleep. The next night it happened again. This time I was awake. I was sitting at the kitchen table, scrolling through my phone when I heard it. Clearer now. Definitely a voice. Oh, soft. Almost coaxing. I froze. The sound was coming from beneath me. From the basement. I stood up slowly, my chair scraping against the floor. The voice stopped immediately. Silence filled the room again. I stared at the basement door. Hello? I called out, feeling stupid the moment the word left my mouth. No response. I stepped closer. The wood of the door looked older up close, scratched, worn, as if someone had tried to claw their way out. Is someone down there? I asked. Nothing. I reached for the handle, hesitated, then pulled it open. The smell hit me first. Damp. Rotting. Like something had been left to decay for a very long time. A narrow staircase descended into darkness. No light switch near the door. Great, I muttered. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and aimed it down the stairs. The beam barely cut through the darkness. I took one step down, then another. The wood creaked under my weight. Halfway down, I heard it again. Right behind me. Don't. I spun around, nearly dropping my phone. No one was there. My heart pounded in my chest. The voice had been close, too close. Not from the basement. From right behind my ear. I rushed back up the stairs and slammed the door shut. I didn't go back down that night. Or the next. I tried to forget about it. Tried to convince myself it was stress, lack of sleep, imagination. But the voice didn't forget about me. It came back. Every night a little louder. A little clearer. At first it just whispered. Incoherent sounds like someone trying to form words but failing. Then it started speaking. Hello. The first time I heard it say that, I nearly dropped the plate I was holding. It was unmistakable. Human. Or at least, it sounded human. Who's there? I shouted, my voice trembling. No answer. Just silence. But I knew what I heard. That night, I locked the basement door. I even pushed a chair against it just in case. It didn't help. The voice didn't need the door. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to something far worse than whispering. A knock. From beneath the floor. Slow. Deliberate. Knock, knock, knock. I sat up in bed, my breath caught in my throat. The knocking continued. Then the voice. Let me out. The words were drawn out, unnatural, like they were being forced through something that didn't quite understand how speech worked. My blood ran cold. Please? It sounded desperate. Pleading. Almost convincing. I swung my legs off the bed and stood up, drawn toward the door despite every instinct telling me to stay put. Hello? I called out weakly. The knocking stopped. Silence. Then, help me. The voice was clearer now. Stronger. And closer. Too close. It wasn't coming from the basement anymore. It was coming from the hallway. I opened my bedroom door slowly. The hallway was empty, but I could hear breathing. Right outside the basement door. I crept closer, every step feeling like a mistake. Are you okay? I asked. The breathing stopped. Then the voice spoke again. "I'm trapped." It sounded exactly like me. I froze. The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. That wasn't just any voice. It was my voice. Same tone. Same inflection. Same everything. "What the hell?" I whispered. The thing behind the door laughed. It wasn't loud. It wasn't even particularly creepy at first. But it went on too long. And it didn't sound human anymore. It warped, stretched, twisted into something deeper, something wrong. "You found me," it said, still in my voice. I backed away slowly. "No," I said. "No, this isn't real." "It is," it replied. The door handle began to shake. Just slightly. Then harder. "Let me out," it said. "I won't hurt you." I turned and ran. I didn't stop until I was outside, standing in the cold night air, my chest heaving. I didn't go back in until sunrise. And even then, I told myself I imagined it. I had to. Because if I didn't, then what was down there? The next few days were quiet. Too quiet. No voice. No knocking. Nothing. I almost convinced myself it was over. Then I found the door open. I had locked it. I was sure of it. But there it was, slightly ajar. The chair I'd placed against it was pushed aside. My stomach twisted. I approached slowly. "Hello?" I called out. No response. I pushed the door open. The smell was worse than before. Thicker. Heavier. Like something had died. I shined my flashlight down the stairs. And this time, I saw something. At the bottom. A shape. Standing in the darkness. It looked like a person. But it wasn't moving. "Who's there?" I demanded. The shape didn't respond. Didn't move. Just stood there. Watching. I took a step down. Then another. The light flickered. And for a split second, I saw its face. It was mine. But wrong. The eyes were too wide. The mouth stretched into a grin that went too far. Then the light steadied. And the shape was gone. I ran back upstairs and slammed the door shut. That was the moment I realized something. It wasn't trying to get out. Not really. It was trying to get me in. That night I packed a bag. I didn't care about the house anymore. I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to leave. As I was about to walk out the door, I heard it one last time. From the basement. "Wait." I froze. "Don't go." It sounded different. Not like me this time. Softer. Said, "I'll be alone again." I swallowed hard. "Good," I said. There was a pause. Then, "You already are." The lights flickered. And suddenly, I wasn't standing in my living room anymore. I was in the basement. I don't remember going down there. I don't remember opening the door. But there I was, standing at the bottom of the stairs. In the dark. My bag was gone. The air was thick and cold. And in front of me, I saw myself, standing at the top of the stairs, holding the door open. It smiled at me. Then it stepped back and slammed the door shut. The lock clicked. I screamed. I ran up the stairs, pounding on the door. "Let me out," I shouted. No answer. Only silence. Then, footsteps. Walking away. Above me. I kept banging on the door until my hands bled. Until my voice gave out. Until I realized no one was coming. That thing, it took my place. It's out there now. Living my life. Talking to people. Smiling. Pretending to be me. And I'm down here. In the dark. Listening. Waiting. Because sometimes, late at night, I hear a voice. From above. Crying. Begging. "Please, let me out." And I understand now. That wasn't it, trying to escape. It was someone else. Before me. And now, it's my turn to wait. For someone new to hear the voice in the basement. And make the same mistake I did.